All right, here we go. Cylinders, full and partials. So set up the page just like we did before. The word cylinder across the top in 2 columns for full and partials. We're going to do 5 of each, just like we did with the rectangular prisms. All right, let's start with the fulls, and then the next video we'll look at partials. Cylinders, they've got a round top and straight sides. Now, just like a rectangular prism has a rectangle shut top, but we're seeing it from an angle, it's going to change. Just like a circle seen from an angle is going to change. And what we want to draw is an ellipse. Some of you might say an oval, but an oval is not correct, and I want to explain the difference. Let me do an oval first. An oval, like an oval track out there by the football fields, has a straightaway. It has a half a circle, has a straightaway, and has a half a circle. That's not really correct for the top of a cylinder. So we don't want to do that. We want to draw an ellipse. And the difference is an ellipse does not have a straightaway. It's curved entirely around. It's curved tightly on the outsides, perhaps, in this angle, and curves slowly here. And how do we do that? Well, I've practiced moving my hand in that shape for a long time. And here's what I do. I go around until I feel like I've got a pretty good elliptical shape. And then I look and I say, well, I can identify an ellipse better than I can draw one. So I know there's a good one in here. So I'm just going to trace around the one that looks good. That looks pretty good. I can erase my extra lines. Okay, so that's elliptical. The curve gets tight on the outsides and then flattens out a little bit, but not completely flat over here. And to do a cylinder, it's pretty simple. All I have to do is do 2 parallel lines straight down. I can do of any proportion, any height. I'm just going to go down a little bit. And then I'm going to do another elliptical shape down here, and it has to kind of match up with the width. This one should just be a little bit thicker, top to bottom. And once I feel like I've got a good one there, see, I've drawn the whole thing, but I'm only going to darken the bottom half of it because I want to erase here to make it look like a solid cylinder. All right, so pretty simple to draw, a little more complex to shade. The pyramid and the rectangular prism all have flat sides, but this has a curved sides. And here's the rule of shading. If it has a flat side, then you shade it evenly all the way across. There's no spotlights here. It's like a big sunlight laying across that surface evenly. But if it's a curved surface, it's going to receive light unevenly. And let's say my light source is coming from this direction, all the way across. It's going to be lighter here and darker here, slowly going from light to dark, or dark to light. And I'm going to shade it that way. I like to shade dark to light because I can push the graphite around. So I'm going to push down hard with my pencil. I'm moving it straight up and down in the direction of the flat part of the side. You know, this is a straight line. If I go this way, it's a curved, so it's easier to control this way. I can control my pressure. And as I'm moving to the right, I'm putting less and less pressure on my pencil. And as I move around, you can really concentrate on this and control how much pressure you're putting down here. You just lighten your pressure as you go across. And you get to a certain point where you can just barely lay down some graphite there. I can spread out the graphite a little bit by going up and down like this. It tends to smear outside the lines. I can clean them up with my eraser. I have some erasers up in a wooden bowl up here if you want to borrow those. And then if I want to put the shadow that this thing casts, I can put a little shadow in here. Show that it looks 3D. So I want you to come up with 5 full cylinders, different proportions. Maybe you have some small ellipses with long cylinders. Don't draw them really small, all of them. I want you to fill up the space here for all these. Don't try to take the easy way out by just drawing teeny tiny ones the whole time. And one thing, this again would be going dark to light, going across this way. And same thing here, if I turn the thing sideways, if I draw my ellipse this way to start, like a cylinder laying down on its flat edge here, or its curved edge. One thing I want to remember is I'm not shading light to dark this way because it's curved this way. It's curved this way. So when I shade this thing sideways, I'm going to shade it light to dark, dark to light, bottom to top. Let's say if the light source is from the top, which normally probably would. So keep that in mind. When the thing lays down the side, you got to think of how it's curved. It's going to be darker on the side that's curved away from the light source and lighter on the side that's curved towards the light source. Makes sense, right? So it would look something more like this. I'd clean it up. All right, draw 5, shade 5. Good luck. Call me over if you have any questions.